YouTube? It's Chicken Fixin' here with the very first YouTube video. This is my Mazda 3 2.5 liter. As you can see, I've clearly done a couple things to it, and I know that a few of you guys out there are going to think that there is really nothing to be done to the 2.5. A lot of people think it's a waste of time, but you'll find, especially if you pay any attention to like Miata community or whatever, there's actually a pretty good, I guess, aftermarket for the 2.5, or at least people know how to use them. And I kind of want to show off what you can do with it. So this is my 2010 Mazda 3 Grand Touring. It's a 6-speed manual. I have H&R Lowering Springs, Konig Control wheels, Spec D tuning headlights. The strips don't work anymore. Highly don't recommend them. Don't buy those. Just straight up garbage. Corksport short ram intake. We have the MSDS header back there. Let's see here. Helps me to look back here. We got the FIdanza Instagram handle, but FIdanza lightweight flywheel. 6-speed is going to be for my shifter and shift knob in there. It's carbon fiber for the shift boot. I don't know if you can see that. And then we got the little ricer mod up in there. It says fucking fast for 6. Nothing too crazy there. Corksport exhaust. It is with the race pipe, so we are fully catless. Give you a quick walk around. The lighting isn't all that great back here, but this is the Mazda 3 2.5. Pretty decent platform. Not too much done to it. No tune yet. I plan on tuning it myself actually. But right now we're going to start filming some basic car content. I'm going to give you guys a further breakdown in a further point of the video, but I do hope you enjoy. For right now, I'll go ahead and give you guys a little sound clip. So we're going to walk in here. It is warm, so don't freak out. Not a cold start. Get you guys a little sound of the exhaust here. So this is at idle. Nothing too crazy. And what I was saying here, the DRLs definitely don't work. But we do have the aftermarket LEDs in there. I think it looks pretty decent. Go ahead and close the trunk. Here's a couple revs for you. We'll go to about 3 first, and then I'll just go ahead and ping it. So that's what my setup sounds like. As we get further into it, you guys are going to learn more and more about my car. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them. Here, right about after this clip, I'm going to go ahead and put in some races, see what it's able to go against. Apologize, I totally misspoke a couple times in that intro clip. First video, like I said, I'm definitely very nervous. It's totally new to me. My car is not all that great. I don't expect you guys to be like, whoa, you know, your car is fucking sick. It's the fastest thing I've ever seen in the life. Like, it's not. It's really not. Guys, the Mazda 3 2.5 is not a fast platform as is, but my goal is to eventually turn it into something that is fast / fairly quick. I'm looking to make about, I'm still playing with numbers here, but from what I understand, you can make about 350, 400 horsepower reliable on the 2.5 bottom end block off the turbo setup. Of course, I'm not going to do anything nitrous wise. Some people want to do nitrous. You can do about a 50 shot to 100 shot and be okay. I do also hear that the transmissions are kind of glass, so eventually I'm going to have to put a speed transmission in there. You know how it goes. You get it. If you have any questions, please ask them. It helps me so much, especially with creating further content. I don't expect it to take off right away. I'm cool if I don't take off at all, to be honest with you. I just want other people who have Mazdas, who are interested in building their Mazdas, to have something to go off of. People like Colton Riker, fantastic job. He does such a good job, guys. Check him out for sure. There's also some really good Mazda Speed 3 platforms. If you go, I mean, I'm sure it's not hard to find them. I think there's one guy at JJ Mazda Speed 3. He's pretty consistent on posting. He's really good. Check out all their videos, like, for real. Anything that you find in there could also be applied to your Mazda 3 2.5 or even a 2.0. Now, the 2.0s aren't going to be as impressive, but you can still do a good amount with them. I mean, turbos still pretty decent from, I think, what is it? I think compression ratios, at least in the 2.5, is somewhere around like 8-to-1, 9-to-1, so totally boostable. I also understand that a lot of the guys in the speed community swap the 2.5 bottom end, put the 2.3 heads on there, and keep the turbo set up, and they're making reliable power, and they're doing just fine. So definitely look into it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to say it again later in the video, because I've recorded this video over several different courses of time periods. DR Tuned, look into him. He has a lot of good information on tuning a turboed Mazda 3 2.5. He tunes them himself, so he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. He's nothing new, you know what I'm saying? Look into it. If you guys don't want to believe my numbers, look elsewhere. That's totally fine. Ultimately, I'm really just trying to get you guys good ideas of what you can do with your car. Even if maybe you don't want to go into the turboing aspect, you know, you can still get an idea of what your car is going to look like, sound like, or whatever with similar mods. I'm not on coils or anything like that. I mean, I've done everything. I'm not going to say the cheapest route possible, because I don't believe in doing that, guys. If you do everything the cheapest way possible, I promise for you, you will pay it twice, okay? The most expensive thing that you can do to your car is do everything cheap. I stand by that, okay? I've done everything myself, so that does help bring down cost. If you're a little bit tech savvy or anything like that, go for it. Do your own work. Don't be afraid. These cars are not hard to work on. I promise you, they're not that hard to work on at all. I'll show you what I do from now on. I can give you guys walkthroughs on how I did what, although I don't plan on taking things off and putting them back on. But if I ever do get to that point, I might as well record it and show a few people, because there's questions out there. But let's say you had a question like, hey, how do you install the MSDS header onto your Mazda? Well, there's plenty of guys out there, and I can definitely redirect you to those videos, and I'll give them credit for it and all that. You know, there's really good guys out there who know what they're doing. I plan on being one of those guys, still young, still new. Maybe I'll give you some false information. Take everything at your own risk, you know? Don't look at me and be like, yeah, the way that he does this is the way that it should be done. Because that's just not true, you know? There's no one right way of doing things. And if you want to do your car the way that you want to, go for it. It's your car. Do what you want to do with it, okay? People may judge you and all that stuff, but who cares? It's your car. Like, dude, if you take pride in what you do, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do. I really don't even think my car sounds all that good or anything because of the MSDS header. I'm not gonna lie. If you don't like raspy noise, like if you don't want to sound like a Honda Civic at 3 a.m., maybe find a cap for the MSDS header, to be honest. Go high flow or something. Maybe get a different exhaust setup. I personally, the Corksport sounded super good, guys. Like, get the Corksport, the one with the race pipe. Second cat delete. It's fairly loud at first. You just got to get through that first week, and then it's not that bad. It drones around 3,000 RPM at first, but you'll get past it. You'll get by it. Like, as long as you keep your speed under about 75, 80, you're not gonna notice it. Shift early, it's no big deal. It's not going to be too loud for you at all. And if you are worried about it being too loud, get the catted version. It's fine. The thing about the catted version though, or sorry, it's not catted. You use your stock cat on it, but you'd have to cut it off and then find a way to attach your exhaust from your second cat back. But that shouldn't be too big of a deal. I mean, you can either take it to an exhaust shop or find some clamps or do however you want to do it. It doesn't matter, just as long as you find something that you enjoy. I will say that my exhaust setup was really easy to install. Everything bolts on. Corksport did a beautiful job of designing it. I highly stand by them. I have a lot of Corksport on my car. If you have a Mazda, Corksport's your way to go. They know what they're doing. They really do. And again, I'm going to reiterate, questions. Ask me questions if you want to see further mods or what I'm going to do. Maybe when I get into tuning, I'll start showing you guys what I'm doing. It'll be my first time tuning, so again, grain of salt here. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing, most likely. Don't go exactly off of what I do. I'm learning as I go. You're going to kind of see that process, and hopefully it turns out okay. From here, I'm going to go ahead and cut off and then allow the rest of the video to continue. So I hope you guys enjoy. So now we're here inside the Mazda. I really want you guys to get an idea of what it's like driving it, you know, maybe what it sounds like, get a feel for what I do, how it drives. If you got any questions, maybe some of your questions will be answered here, you know. How's it sound? Well, let me back up here and then I'll get a little acceleration clip. Got one window down. Right now at 4,000 RPMs. I'm not going to accelerate too hard, too fast, you know, so we're going to get on it. So that's what it sounds like. Still, remember, no tune, you know, we got the MSDS header, Corksport catback exhaust. That explains the majority of your sound. Also the Corksport short ram. Nothing too crazy. It's real simple, really easy to replicate. Most of you guys are going to probably sound like me if you do it. The Corksport exhaust, make sure that you get the with race pipe version. That one gets rid of your second cat, so I am full catless. There's no cats. If you live in an emission state, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You're not going to be able to do this unless you decide to switch your exhaust back before you get tested or something. I don't live in an emission state, so I'm not really tripping. I'm hoping to make decent power off a turbo setup. Chances are I'll probably build up a little bit. I kind of like the idea of doing the 2.3 head on top of the 2.5 block. It seems that the 2.5 block does pretty well under boost, even